don't know how many people have sat in this chair and said this to you and been honest with you about this, but everyone I know, all these actors that I mentioned before, some of, the great actors of our time, were absolutely panicked because this was one of those movies where you couldn't pretend it wasn't a big deal. It's Meryl Streep. You're looking at a call sheet going, it's Meryl Streep and it's Tom Hanks and it's this one, it's that one, it's Steven Spielberg and Janusz and all these incredible people from, in every department. And it was impossible not to feel apoplectic about the whole thing. And I know everyone felt this way. And so that was sort of comforting. A camaraderie on set was everyone was talking about how, much they had been awake the night before their first day of shooting and how many times they had puked and all those other things because it was scary for people. I've never worked with Anne Roth, who is one of, I think, the greatest costume designers on the planet, and I bet you any actor who's ever worked with will tell you that because she has this special quality where she's actually interested in, from an acting standpoint, how you're going to use your clothes. She's made suggestions about, you would probably have a handkerchief, and so that pocket would be for, and you go, oh, I know actors who have found their characters in fittings with Anne Roth. I think what surprised me the most about working with him is how funny he is. He's incredibly funny and incredibly inquisitive. Just asking me a million questions, everything from like our favorite flavor of jelly bean to, world peace. I mean, he really was a genuinely inquisitive, curious person, which is why I think his movies are so wonderful because they're filled with such nuanced detail about human behavior, which is, I think, what impacts you most as a viewer is when you see yourself up there in some way. Tom has so much heart. And Ben Bradley, I think what's so beautiful about him playing it is that for such a hard exterior and a tough exterior, you've got Tom's big, fat, beating heart that just infuses every choice he makes as an actor, whether he means to or not, and I would think he probably does because he's incredibly smart, and I think he leads with that part of himself, even when he's doing things that are tough and hard-nosed. He's leading with his feeling, and that's something as an actor you feel in a scene with him, but also as an audience member will probably make it easier to root for him and to get inside of it with him because it's not alienating his toughness. Tom has a wonderful way of enveloping you and inviting you in, and that's it's an incredible accessibility. Well, listen, every actor in the world will tell you that the world's greatest actress in the planet is Meryl Streep, and sometimes you hear these things and they are, hyperbolic or feel a little bit like, oh, everyone's brilliant, everyone's this, so these words that get tossed around. But she really is a vessel in a way. She's sort of touched. She's permeable. Anything she decides to do becomes something tangible and real, and you can feel her heart beating. You can see her cheeks flush in a moment. It's just very alive and totally intimidating. A movie like this, you may know about the Pentagon Papers, you may know about Kay Graham, you may know about Ben Bradley in terms of what their relationship was to the story about Watergate and the Pentagon Papers, obviously. But what you don't know about is their personal investment and what it cost them and what was at stake for them personally. And that is something that I think is worth investigating and worth watching and worth knowing about.